Much, Mike. And thank you, Mike, for the amazing job you've done these last 4 weeks producing our district assembly. This is not an easy task, folks. We always have a rehearsal on Wednesdays before to make sure that this comes off as a smoothly oiled machine. And Mike has been our maestro. So thank you so much for your efforts. And thanks to all of you for making this district online assembly a success. We've now had 44 clubs represented in all these 4 weeks, which is a pretty good number. And in these uncertain times, you're really not sure what kind of response we would get, but it's been amazing. So thank you to all of you. I'd like to introduce Jennifer Van Voris, who's the president-elect from the Red Hook Rotary Club, to say the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by Doug Stromsky from the Newburgh Rotary Club, who's going to sing a recorded version of God Bless America. Doug is our Peace Pole coordinator in the district, and we certainly need peace in our country now more than ever. And Rotary can bring peace to our world. Please reach out to Doug if you'd like to learn more about putting Rotary peace poles in your community, and I'll stick his contact information in the chat box. Jennifer?
Excellent. Thank you so much. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through these nights with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean.
Hi.
Hi, Larry.
Okay, so today's discussion is going to be promoting Rotary, and I want to go over just a quick couple of minutes of what our district goals are. First goal is to use social media to promote your club. If you don't have a Facebook page and there's nobody in your club that's Facebook literate, find a high school kid in your Interact club or a teenager, and they will help you set it up. Next, your clubs have websites. You need to maintain your website with current information. There are many clubs that have a website, and if you look at the site, you'll see pictures from events that happened 4 years ago, and that's the newest item on there. Also, the Rotary theme is from 5 years ago. So you've got to update now that we're doing everything online. You really should update your club website. And last of the district's goals is to promote Rotary's People of Action campaign. And that's easy. Mike will talk about that later on at the end of the meeting before we go into breakout rooms. But what you see on the screen now is a Together We Fight Hunger Rotary People of Action. That's my club members. We had a food packaging. We went right onto the Rotary website. We were able to insert our picture, and we now have a terrific picture to use and a print ad. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker today, Jason Brown. Jason is an assistant Rotary public image coordinator. And Jason's passions and successes are rooted in his diverse interests and experiences. He's an IT professional, a radio host. You hear that, Jonah? Radio host, entrepreneur, past president, an improv actor, and much more. Jason has inspired Rotarians at district conferences, pets, and at Rotary International Convention. He loves to creatively create meaningful change and have fun along the way. His motto, use what you love and fight what you hate. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is Jason.
to fight what you hate. So if you have something you love to do and you can use it to combat something you don't like, that's the best combination right there. That's the best combination. So just to get things started, this is going to be a little bit more interactive than you're used to. Everybody, go ahead, and I just want to make sure your fingers work. Go ahead and type your first name in chat. Just go ahead and type your first name in chat. It's fine. Just go ahead. Barbara's there. Okay. All right. Jonah. Salty. Okay. All right. Richie, Mike, Larry. All right. Everybody. You guys are paying attention. Let's go. Okay. Okay. All right. Here's another question. If you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be? Like in a forest, on a vacation spot? Where would you want to go? Disney, Vermont, Paris, a beach. Okay. So y'all want to go to the beach. So let's try to go to the beach then. Let's go to the beach. Is this okay with everybody? We can go to the beach anywhere. Disney's close to the beach. So let's start there. I like that. Okay, since everybody's prepped and ready. Okay, now here comes the Rotary question. What's in one word, what do you do in Rotary? One word. What do you do in Rotary? Service. Good. Service. Help. Yep. Own it. I like that one. Support others. Give. A lot of strong words. Okay. Next up, in one word, why Rotary? Why Rotary? Love. Reach, service, impact, community, global, give, peace, collaboration, purpose. Awesome. Strong community, fellowship. Why not? Why not? Why not do it? I like all those answers are really good. The thing to keep in mind is we just captured the what and why you do in one word. And while we go through this, I'd like you to think about, even at that simple level, are those sentiments conveyed when you're trying to promote Rotary? So before we get to the idea of promoting, and we need to know what you do and why you do it. So we're going to break down today this presentation in a couple of areas. The what. Why does what you do matter? The why. Why, comma, it matters. The why matters. 3, if we have some time to get to it, we'll talk about how do we promote and some things to keep in mind. 4, some resources and some Q&A. Just know that I'll be hopping off of here and hopping on to another setup for the Q&A session, but just keeping y'all in posted. So that's what we're going to go through today, just to let y'all know the what, the why, and the rest of it. So the what. Does what you do matter? From my perspective, the what you do only matters to the people that care about what you do. I'll say it again. What you do only matters to the people that care about what you do. So imagine for a second that everything that you do in Rotary is like a product. It's like a product on a shelf, you know, and you can walk into like any Target at all, and you could just, look on the shelf and you'll see your Rotary product. Let's call it a Rotary Gizmo. It's called a Rotary Gizmo. So whatever you do in Rotary is a Rotary Gizmo that's sitting on the shelf. People can go up to and buy it if they are so inclined to do so. Most of the clubs have more than one thing that you do, so you have more than one Rotary Gizmo. But some clubs might only have one Rotary Gizmo. So to ask you another question, in chat, I would like you to answer the following question. Your Rotary Gizmo. Here's the following question, and we're going to put 1 minute up on the clock. The question is, imagine you are going to share something with your peers at District Assembly. You're going to share one sentence about your Rotary Gizmo. What would you say? Go ahead, put it in the chat. You have one sentence to share about your Rotary Gizmo. What is it? We think global and act local. dryness, how we help. Fellowship through service. The gizmo gives me the best warm feeling that I have in a lifetime. It does a lot with a little, gives me purpose in the community, connecting the world to our community through service. I like a lot of these answers. Okay. All right. So next question up though. All right. Keep on rolling. If you're cool with that answer, go ahead and keep on posting it up. But the next question is, now imagine you're going on Good Morning America. You're going on TV. You have a large audience. You have one sentence to share about your rotary gizmo. What is it? What would you say now? Go ahead and dump it in the chat. Raising money to give it away. The gift that keeps on giving. Helping the world. Do good, have fun. Ba, ba, ba. Service above self. We are the most impactful service organization on the globe. Giving to others gives as much. We care, helping our community. Those were a lot of really good answers as well. So going back to your Rotary Gizmo for a second, you've each defined it and kind of shared about how you're going to talk about this with the different audiences that you have had. Did they differ at all for you? This is not, you can talk in chat if you want. Did they differ at all for you? Did it feel different at all for you to talk to the people sitting next to you, or the people in chat, or the people all across the globe? Does it make a difference for what your Rotary Gizmo is? Again, your Rotary Gizmo is what your club does. Your club does. We all do service above self, but it's what your club does. No, they were not the same. And a lot of people said that they're not the same. We are all part of our world because I like to serve others. No. And they shouldn't be. They should not be, because the audience to which we're serving is different. And so if our product is sitting on the shelf, your Rotary Gizmo is sitting up on the shelf over there, how do you sell your Rotary Gizmo to the audiences to which you serve? If your Rotary Gizmo only is important to you, it's hard to promote it, because what audience do you serve except for yourself? If your Rotary Gizmo only serves your club, it's hard to promote that to anyone else but to your club. But if your Rotary Gizmo connects yourself to another group, that's the audience to which you promote. That's the audience to which you can connect. And when they go to the stores and they go to the shelves, they see the Rotary Gizmo on the shelf, they're like, oh, you know what? I'll take one of these. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'll take one of these. I'll take one of these Rotary Gizmos. I'll take one of these Rotary Gizmos. All of these things. But unless
you're focused on the right audience, people are not going to come through. And if you don't have the right audience, maybe it's time to rethink about what your Rotary Gizmo is for you and for your club. So in those impacted by your Rotary Gizmo, it might be the first place that you look. If you build playgrounds for kids, your audience, the people that you sell your Rotary Gizmo to, the people that you promote to, might be parents, teachers, leaders of daycares, youth service organizations. Those are the type of people that might say, oh, wow, that's some cool stuff you're doing. Let me participate in Rotary, or connect or partner with Rotary. If you donate to the local food bank, maybe the audience to which you market are to the farmers, to the store owners, to the school leaders, to the churches. Maybe that is the group that you market to. That's who you promote to. That's who your Rotary Gizmo would go to. So who cares about your Rotary Gizmo matters before you start promoting your Rotary Gizmo. All right. So takeaways. 1, your Rotary Gizmo is what you do. It's what you do. It's on the shelf. It's what people purchase. It's what people go for and what you can promote. The second thing is the Rotary Gizmo is for specific audiences. It's not for everybody. And depending on what your Rotary Gizmo is, you're going to be promoting to a particular audience along the way. Next, since we talked about the what, now we got to talk about the why, because the why matters. Why, comma, it matters. Why, comma, it matters. Not a question, it's a statement. Why, comma, it matters. So let's do this. Let's do some speed questions, y'all. Let's do some speed questions. All right, real quick, I'm going to put 60 seconds up on the clock. You go ahead and answer this. Why do you take pictures at events? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Speed questions. You got to type real fast. To promote the event, memories, social promotion, interest for memories, to preserve the memory. Nice. Okay, next question up. Why do you post to social media? To promote our club. That's interesting. You take for the memories and promote on social media. Why the audience? Let everybody know, larger audience, to get the word out. Okay. All right. I see some of those answers fly by. Last but not least, why do you want to promote the club? Why do you want to spread the word? Why do you want larger audiences? Why do you want to honk your own horn? Why? Give me the second why. To grow membership, for new members, to do more, to get others involved, to grow. Okay. So we went only 2 levels down. The trick to figure out why, to get to the core of like really solid promotion, is to ask why 5 times. Go down that ladder and keep on digging, because the real reason why you're doing it should emerge at its very core if you ask why 5 times. But the why really does matter. And I find it interesting that a lot of people were like, memories. We take pictures for memories, but then we use those pictures and post for promotion. Well, they should kind of line up together if you want to promote, especially if you're thinking about the audiences to which you serve and you want to make sure that you're connecting with the right folks. All right. So a little quick question, a little quick story. So I'm going to give you 2 examples I'm going to prove this whole why thing. Tell me if this story matters to you. I like Miracle Whip on my sandwiches. I like Miracle Whip on my sandwiches. That's one option. Or the second option is, when I was growing up, my grandparents down in New Roads, Louisiana, they had a spot down where it was hot and humid, and we would go outside and play all the time. And when I would become irritable, my grandmother would make us bologna sandwiches. She would have white bread, she would have beef bologna, and she would have Miracle Whip. And she would put it all together. And that's the only time I would ever have Miracle Whip. And that made me so happy that to this day, even when I'm having a bad day, I go get a sandwich with some Miracle Whip. One was just the what, the other was the why. Which story was more interesting? Which story made you actually care about the fact that I enjoy Miracle Whip sometimes? I know some of you were like, that's disgusting. Some of you were like,
Miracle Whip is the worst thing that I've ever had in my life. It is gross. I just can't.
Some of you might be feeling that way, and that's perfectly fine. But at least you cared about the story that I gave you. So next is another story that I want to just share. So here's the facts. I have me and a buddy of mine, we do video game streaming, and we donated $2,800 the other day. That's the what. The why is, the deeper story is that because of everything happening in the world right now with George Floyd and everything happening in us in the world, the marches going on and everything else, we felt like we were a comedic duo. We do a lot of comedy, but we felt like it was our place to do something bigger. So what we did was, on one day, we streamed for hours, stood up and just played videos that connected people and educated people about privilege, about being, about the differences between being Black and being white in America. And then we raised $2,800 in the process, and we donated to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund because we felt like that was something that we wanted to do. Which story seems more interesting? The why matters. The why matters. So when you're out there promoting Rotary, remember that it's not just the what. Your Rotary gizmo. It's not just the Rotary gizmo. It's the why that Rotary gizmo exists in the first place. And we limited it to just one sentence and one word today. But you have the ability to take your time and ask why 5 times, to dig deeper, to be able to express and connect with others in a way that you might not have been able to before. Let's see. Do I want to go for it? Okay. One of the other things to think about of understanding the why, and I don't want to hop too much into this, is that this is in the People of Action guide. Is page 4. It asks you a lot of questions about your club to begin to flesh out the reasons why you do things and who's your audience and whatnot. So just keep in mind page 4 of the guide, and if I'm sure one of us will provide that to everybody post this. You probably already have it, but at least you have this. So the why does it matter? So I just want to go to one more example, and then I'm going to wrap up for right now. Is again, remember the product. The product, your rotary gizmo is important, but the why is what matters. Who cares about the why? Right? And who cares about your rotary gizmo? That's what we're talking about. And before I hop into that, I want to show you one more thing, which is, let's go back to the beach for a second. So, the Michael Jackson, the Michael Jordan story, the whatever it's called, has been super popular. And Nike is a brand that everybody knows. And normally when you hear people talk about branding and whatever, they're like, okay, I get it where you're going with this, but I just want to show you something. If Nike wanted to just show a pair of, these are cool shoes, but they're worn. And this is a group of people that are, celebrating Nike as a Nike jersey on. This was at a Nike celebration, and it's fine. It's fine. You can tell the story this way with a single image, or you can tell a story this way with a single image. And in each one of these pictures, there's very few words, as you have already stated today, but the messages that are being sent, the energy that is being felt, the why and the what is very clear in each of these. And it gets you excited. I haven't played basketball in a while, but I want to go play with LeBron James right now, even if he doesn't look very happy in this picture. I want to go hang out with them. I'm inspired by these people that are singing. And that's the important thing to remember, is that it's not just the what. It's not just the why. It's putting it all together. And even if you use few words to get the message across, it can be effective. So, on that note, I just want to leave you with a couple things, a couple resources just to keep in mind. Brand Center. Brand Center, they'll talk about that in a little bit, but know that that is your spot to go to for all of your resources. People of Action Campaign Guide, that's where I got the page number 4 from. That's what you should reference if you're digging into the what and the why a little bit. And last but not least, learn.rotary.org. There's been a number of additions to that site in the past few months, including ones from Toastmasters that allow you to be able to express yourself in new and interesting ways. So I encourage you to look at all 3 of these along the way. Last but not least, this is not in a slide, but I just do want to say that it's a couple things. Last things I want to say is social media by itself, I didn't express this, but social media by itself is overrated. Just posting online is not enough. You have to dig into the what and the why and all the things that we previously talked about for it to all come together. If you just have a website and you're like, well, I'm good. And if you just post every once in a while about the same photo that you post every time, might as well honestly not do it. So take a little bit more energy, get the what, get the why, put it together, inspire some folks so that when you do hop on TV, everybody's like, yes, I want to join the what group are they again? What group are they? Who's? Yes. All right. So that's my time, everybody. I'm going to be available for Q&A in just a little bit. I will disconnect for a second, but if you have any questions, go ahead and start putting them in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we'll just, I want to go through a couple things about Brand Center. So this is found on My Rotary. And so you'll see under where Member Center is, if you hover over that, you'll see a drop down. And under right on the bottom here, you're going to have what's called Brand Center. So the thing about, you saw, Jason just show you Nike images, right? And so Nike has professionals that do this. Well, the good thing is Rotary has professionals that do this too. So there are pre-designed materials and the ability to design your own, which I'll show you in a second, that you have at your fingertips. Every Rotarian has access to this. So it's something that, again, through My Rotary, you'll see that Larry had showed an image before that he did for his club with the People of Action campaign. And if you were to click on that, what it would bring you to is the ability to create your own People of Action campaign. So it's really pretty simple. You hit the create button, and we're not going to walk start to finish through it, but I will show you. Basically, it gives you the template. You can change the picture to something that your club does. Also change the kind of description of what that image is about, and it really gives you the kind of the guidelines to be able to do that. So it's really super easy. Couple of things, if you're looking to do newsletters for your club, for instance, or flyers that you're about an event, there's customizable versions of that as well as logos. So what you've seen here is the master brand, Rotary's master brand. There's the ability to then put your club name under it, or in a couple different ways actually. But this is how, again, you can click on that and you'll be able to go and either download Rotary's logos or be able to make your own, use the template to make your own logos as well. One thing I want to kind of point out for Brand Center, because it's very fitting for what we are doing on here, is that, if my controls will go away, is if you were to go to Brand Center, and in each of the areas there's a search bar, and search virtual or background, you can actually find pre-designed backgrounds for Zoom. So you'll see different ones, including for polio. There's a foundation one in a couple different colors. So again, this is a really great resource that Rotary's put together for you to utilize for your club in many different ways. And again, you don't have to worry about being a professional graphic designer. It's all right here. So again, they create your own flyers, certificates, step and repeat banners if you were looking to do that for an event for your club. So everything's on Brand Center. It's a really great location, location for that. So keep that in mind. Good resource.
Jason, was the NAACP project done over Twitch? Somebody thought they saw that.
No, it was on a something called Mixer, which is like the baby version of Twitch.
Okay. Now, do you know, does Club Runner interface with social media platforms?
I believe there are some hooks within Club Runner. I am not as familiar with Club Runner because my group uses DACDB.
Yeah.
And I know there's some that use one, some use the other. I'm one of the groups that uses DACDB. But I can dig into that and do a little bit more research if that's helpful to you.
Leo, I'm pretty certain that you can implant your Facebook link into your Club Runner page. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yes. So I mean, if you're thinking about like there's integrations with like you can post in different places all at the same time, but you can do something as easy as putting a Facebook link on certain pages for sure. But again, if you need me to look it up even more, just let me know. Okay,
could you provide an example of a post that would suggest that might get more shares or views on social media?
Well, so when you say social media, it depends on the type of social media that you're talking about. So if you take Facebook, for example, if all of the people who are friends or who've liked your Rotary page so far are only Rotarians, it's going to do little, it's going to be of little help for you to post a lot of things because it's mostly going to stay in that circle. The biggest, before you even get to the point of getting a higher reach, what I would suggest is to go out to the community, reach out to others, and get more people to like the, more people to like the page that are outside of Rotary, and that would help the exposure rate. Then once that's done, then you create the type of post that's like, you can ask questions, that's very helpful. There's polls, that's very helpful as well. Sometimes if you want to get more creative, You can do a longer video, even if it's not edited. Facebook's algorithm now likes videos that are 3 minutes or more. So even if you don't put something together that's highly professional, even just putting something out there that's organic and real, to me, does have a connection to it. And last but not least, going live does have a lot of value, especially right now. That seems to be of higher importance. So if you are at an event, well, I know right now we're not at events, but if you're working on a project from home, you just want to go live and answer questions, or like you're picking up stuff at a store with your mask on, getting materials for a project you're working on. All of those little pieces add up. I can't tell you exactly what to do for the right type of super engagement, because it depends on your audience, going back to that statement. But there are many different ways you can do it. But my first suggestion would be is to grow your audience outside of Rotary, so that when you do post something interesting, more people are aware of it and more likely to like it, and then share it outwardly so that you get more exposure.
Okay. Can you talk about Rotary Gizmo? Can you talk about the difference between an event and the club itself when you're talking about your Rotary Gizmo?
Sure. Some clubs don't have a lot of events, but they're still impactful. So if your club does events to create impact and that's your story and that's what you're selling, then that's your gizmo. If you're a club that, writes big old checks and you're not doing any events, well, then that's your Rotary Gizmo. To me, the Rotary Gizmo is the thing that you can most likely go out to some place and be like, look at this. Do you see this? Here's the reason why. This is super cool. And then you can either start a conversation about new membership, partnerships. I'm really big about partnerships. There are a lot of people in the community that don't want to be part of Rotary or don't have the time to, but they can be super, super impactful if they're just partners. So I feel like that's the way that I would go about it. It really depends on your club and what your secret sauce is.
Okay, this one you sort of answered. Can you talk about how using video on social media can be effective? Pretty much have answered that.
Yes, I find that having a balance of the type of social media that you release is of importance. So I would suggest not to do all video. I would suggest not to do all pictures. I would suggest not all polls. Have a balance of different types of things so people stay interested and people stay engaged. But to me, I'm a very video heavy person, so I resort to video for most of what I do.
Yeah, you have any thoughts on what the best way to share Rotary is? Facebook, radio, local cable TV, Instagram, etc., TV, anything that comes knocking out from you?
What is the best media to share Rotary?
Yeah. What do you like the most?
It goes back to what I can't answer that question without saying first that it depends on the audience to what my product is and what my audience is. If I know that people between the ages of 5 and 8 years old only listen to the radio, I'm not going to go to the radio then to promote the fact that I cleaned up a garden the other day. But if I did something that related to schools, well, then I would go to the radio station to promote that thing. To me, I think it's really important to take what you do as opposed to just blasting it everywhere, is to be a little bit more fine-tuned and say, okay, this is my product. This is my gizmo. How do I sell this? If you had another product for yourself, maybe some of you already have your own businesses. To me, there's very little difference from the way that you think about marketing and promotion for those things versus Rotary.
So much, and you have the floor.
Again, thank you everybody for listening to my crazy presentation. There's one thing that popped up in conversation that I just want to mention. One question came up was like, should we do flashy stuff with just like you did to keep people engaged? Maybe, maybe not. Content still is the most important thing. And as long as that content is going to the right people and you're putting it in the right place to get to the right people, then that's a win. The other thing that I want to quickly say is that if you do want to try some flashy stuff, especially when it comes to Facebook is something called StreamYard. 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 And the other software is Restream.io. And what you can do easily is do some of that stuff that I did with the overlays. You can do a lot of the background changes. You can do a lot of you can pull up comments from Facebook so that you can see them up on the screen while you're presenting. You can have multiple people join so that you can change the layout a little bit. It's not like perfect, but if you're looking for new ways of playing around in the online space, StreamYard and Restream.io are good 2 places to start. And last but not least, JasonGoRotary is my email address. Feel free to reach out to me if you need anything. And it's been a pleasure to hang out with everybody, and hopefully you have a fantastic afternoon.
Great job. Thank you so much. Jason, hope you're going to hang around just for a few more minutes. This is my favorite part of the night, when the discussion leaders report in on their room discussion and share a couple of thoughts. And folks, get your pens and pencils and whatever, get out there, get your notepads out and start taking a couple of notes. Matt, go ahead. Start us off. Matt Eiler.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Matt Eiler here. We had a nice discussion in our little chat room there. And I think the most interesting thing we came up with, it was really Jacob that stimulated this idea, was Jason was telling us that if you're going to try to promote Rotary, you got to be thinking about what your target audience is. But we were kind of discussing in our room that what is your target? Like, not specifically, but what is the category of target? What's the purpose of promoting Rotary? And so we kind of were dividing it into sort of 3 separate target audiences, which may, or in many cases may not overlap. And what we were talking about is number 1, fundraising. So that's one group. So you bring in money into the club through your fundraisers and through grants and other things. That's one group. A second group is, you're reaching out to try to promote new membership to do the actual work. And then a third group is trying to find sources of where the service should go. Where's the money going? Where's the service going? And so I think, who you're promoting to really depends on which one of those 3 aspects of club activity and Rotary you're focused on. And obviously you probably have to do all 3, but it might entail different marketing strategies for each.
All right. Thanks, Matt, so much. Thank you. Matt Kay, better known as Nails. Go get him, baby.
Hey, guys. How are you? All right. So we had a really great session in our breakout room, and that was actually the 4th in a row. And it was really, really important capstone on everything we talked about, because what we learned over the last 3 weeks kind of really built up to this. And that's that Rotary is not only about what we do and how we do it, but it's about our infrastructure. And I think the overwhelming theme that kind of came up with all the different topics that we talked about was this one point that kept on getting echoed, which is it's not so much what you do, it's how you do it. It's not that you're putting something on Facebook, you're putting the right things on Facebook. It's not that you're reaching out to people, that you're reaching out to the right people. It seems so simple that if you're going to do something, do it right. Take the time and do, even if you're doing something small, do it right. And I think that was the overarching thing, which is don't reinvent the wheel. If you're going to create marketing, go to Rotary Central and get the marketing that's already built for you. Use the tools that are at hand. So it's overwhelming, and it can seem rote. It can become rote. And the idea is to take the time, have fun with it. It's there to be enjoyed and have fun with. And at the end of the day, you're going to get out and you're going to
thank you so much. Sal Lucido, what was happening in your breakout room?
Well, I tell you, you don't know what you don't know until you finally know it.
Well said. Confucius said that, I think.
If you would have went through the 6 questions that you guys helped us go through, I think we all would have thought before we heard Jason that we were doing it all okay. But after hearing Jason and some of the things that he said, we were sort of stumbling on whether or not we were actually promoting Rotary, or if we were just going through the motions, you know, same thing, same way, different day. So we've all decided that we need to take some of his wisdom, the first thing being making sure that our Rotary pages are liked by people outside of Rotary. What a simple concept, and, you know, never crossed my mind. So thank you very much, Jason.
Great job, Sal. Thank you so much. Cecile Plattner, what was going on in your breakout room of curiosity?
Well, it's interesting what you said about outward facing, and our Rotary theme is Rotary Connects the World. I think the takeaway from our room was that the social media message is most successful when we connect with other people, when we connect with the local newspapers, when we connect with other groups in our town, with town officials. One club had done a fundraiser on their Facebook page for another community organization that was a nonprofit. She said Facebook takes no cut of the money raised, and they got 400 new followers to their page because of that, and they're a new club. So connecting with other groups, one successful Rotary Facebook page uses their page to promote other things that are happening in the community, to be sort of like a gathering place where people can find out what's happening in the community, and sharing that information through their platform as a Rotary page. So I thought that was very interesting, that the most successful promotions connected with other groups and other people and were outward facing.
Great, thanks so much, Cecile. And Peter Sullivan, you're the wrap up, man. Let's hear it.
Here we go. I think our group, like the others, was wowed by Jason's presentation and humbled by the fact that they could be using their social platform tools to do more. And there's a lot more that could be mined with it. And so I think they're all incented to go back and do that. We did talk about the point that getting other people to like your Facebook page outside of Rotary was an ingenious idea. Yeah, let's do that. We had one member talk about Instagram as a platform that they're exploring in their club, because face it, that's where the young people go now, is Instagram, because we older folks have taken over Facebook from them. And so they're mining that to their advantage. We talked about how clubs are doing a lot of activities in the Sullivan County area, doing a lot of activities with various nonprofit organizations and helping to publicize for both groups' benefit. So yeah, I think we got a lot out of this session, and people are really enthusiastic about this area now.
Great, thank you. Thanks so much, Pete. Yeah, this has been an amazing night, and we want to thank our featured speaker tonight, Jason Brown. He did an amazing job tonight, and I think he made us scratch our heads and say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board and figure out how to do this the right way, and thank you. So I want to thank the all our discussion leaders, certainly Mike Polashik, who's done an amazing job. You know, these are the folks that got it done in the breakout rooms, and that's been very special about this district assembly. I mean, this has been unorthodox. It's been very different for us, but I think we all learned something. I think it's been great, and thank you to all the folks that have put so much work in to make this a success. And these folks on the screen, just a round of applause for those guys. You know, if a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it? No one's around. So, and speakers have been spectacular. These are 4 superstars in Rotary, and we have been blessed to have great featured speakers. Again, thought-provoking for promoting Rotary, for the Rotary Foundation, for growing Rotary, and for our service projects. That's what Rotary is all about. Those 4 areas. That's what we have to do. Now, I'm going to challenge you folks. I want to first thank the presidents that have served in a very tough year, and District Governor Cindy Kish has done an amazing job in this world of tumult that we're in. And the presidents, thank you for serving. Thank you for leading your clubs in uncertain times. It's not easy. There's no path here. So you're doing it. To the president-elects, you are the leaders that we need in this time of uncertainty and change. We need your creativity, your energy, your wisdom, and your financial might to help those less fortunate, and what Rotary is all about. Help us to help others, right? That's what we're all about, and rebuilding our communities after this crazy event that we just went through. We can definitely grow Rotary in this district. There's no doubt in my mind. We do that through service projects, our Rotary Foundation, and promoting Rotary in your communities. If you don't do that, it's for naught. You got to promote. You got to get out there and market. So all it takes is a good plan, inspired action, and determination to do good and have some fun while you're doing it. If you don't have fun in this whole mix, if you don't learn anything from me in the upcoming year, if you're not having fun, if you're not laughing, you're not living, all right? We got to have fun while we're doing this. We're helping a lot of people throughout the world. The next big event we have, I know your Thursdays are going to be, what am I going to do on Thursday night now? I'll tell you what you're going to do on June 25th. You're going to come to a big celebration for the year end, District Governor Cindy, and we're going to induct all of our new presidents, incoming presidents, and have a big old party. So you have one more event, June 25th, and then we turn the page and start a new Rotary year. But we're doing the same work. We're doing the same great stuff. And I know it's going to be a great year coming up because we have a great team in this district. So thank you to all of you. God bless America. Thanks to Doug Stromsky for his God Bless America and the peace poll. Don't forget that during this time of turbulence, protesting, Rotary can be the answer. Rotary brings peace. All right. Thank you. Have a great night, great evening. Blessings.